Hey, what's going on? Listen, I got a quick one for you about Ron DeSantis, Governor Ron DeSantis down there in Florida. You know political the Black History course that he shut down. I caught this piece. Oh, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Let's do that because this is gonna be real quick. We're gonna get straight to the business. Go ahead and subscribe for me. Hit the like button and the notification bell. It's wet today, February 1st over here. We did the work we had to do, 3 o'clock. So I'm going to be getting up out of here in just a few minutes. But listen, I wanted to just say this to you because this situation reminded me of something that I said a few days ago, that a lot of people make decisions based on little facts and a lot of emotions. I just finished watching this clip. Well, it's video of the brother, attorney Ben Crump, that they use, suing Governor Ron DeSantis because he's shutting down the Black History course that they want to teach in Florida. Okay, so, first thing I do when I hear certain things, I stop and do some research and try to get an understanding of what's going on before I just jump out and, get to talking about it. Governor Ron DeSantis is correct. He's right. Because when I listen to these speakers come up, and my people, they get real religious, get real spiritual, they want to go to church on you. And they be saying a lot of beautiful things and get fired up, and get to shouting and about to go to service. But I'm trying to hear one of those brothers and sisters to come to the podium, explain exactly what is it that they are against that Governor Ron DeSantis is saying. Not a one. I ain't listened to the whole thing. It was an hour and something, but I listened to the beginning where that's where you supposed to say what it is you up there trying to talk about in the beginning. So they came with long speeches and a lot of words, but I'm still trying to hear from the brothers and sisters that's filing this lawsuit against the governor. Exactly what is it about the governor stopping the Black History course? What's their problem? Because from what I'm hearing, then before I just came on to say this to you all, I went back again to listen to what exactly is Governor Ron DeSantis is saying. And here it is. Governor Ron DeSantis is saying it is not right for someone to use Black history to shoehorn a course of queer theory and intersectionality, whatever the hell that is, and abolishing prison system. The governor said, what that got to do with African history, Black America? He said, what are we doing? Queer theory? And I have to agree with Governor Ron DeSantis. What the hell the queer theory got to do with Black history? When we talking about His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie, we talking about the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, we talking about Great Sister Harriet Tubman, we talking about Toussaint Louverture, we talking about Martin Luther King. This is Black history. You know what I'm saying? King Mansa Musa, the Roman general Hannibal that marched the African war elephants over the Alps to decimate the Europe. We talking about Black history. So where in the hell is queer theory? What is that about? And then intersectionality. See, they coming up with these words nowadays that don't nobody know what smoke they mean. And he said it is not right for someone to push a political agenda because he's interested in the students learning facts. And queer theory, intersectionality, and shutting down prison have absolutely nothing to do with Black history. And he's right. And he said someone is trying to use Black history to teach queer theory. He said that's clearly someone trying to push a political agenda and using black history for that. I agree. I agree. So if I was there coming to the podium to speak, that would be what I would say. And all of that hollering and chanting and whatever, did they be getting spiritual? Shut that down. Because y'all ain't right on that one. Y'all missing it. Y'all missing the point. Queer theory, go somewhere else and teach that. Intersectionality, whatever that is, go somewhere and teach that. Shutting down prisons, go somewhere else and teach that. But this is about African history, black history. And those 3 points had absolutely nothing to do with teaching African American history. Queer theory. And for any black people that have a problem, an issue with the governor shutting down that program because he said they got to go back and change it. And because he mentioned those 3 points, queer theory, intersectionality, and shutting down prison have nothing to do with African Black American study, that's why he stopped the program, because he said somebody is pushing a political agenda and using African history to do it. And that's wrong. Now, if you black folk can't agree with that, I just have to say it. Y'all in trouble. Y'all in mad trouble. And all them people out there with the attorney being Crump and all them black folks up there talking about our best and shining, and I didn't hear none of them say what exactly it is that the government they have a problem with. And that's why I say our people make decisions based on little fact and a lot of emotion. And the governor said exactly that. He said, we want our children to learn facts. I agree with that. He never said he did not want to teach African history, black history. He said he don't want anyone to use it to push their agenda, and queer theory, intersectionality, and shutting down prison have nothing to do with black history. And I agree. I agree. You see, I'm looking at how they doing it, how they spending it now. And then the black sister, she came up and she was talking about, oh, he trying to make a run for the White House. And he should. And absolutely he should, because that man is absolutely right. See, a lot of time, we black folk get, so emotional because there's a white person saying it. As soon as a white person say anything that it sounds like they may be against what you're talking about. And so since Ron DeSantis say he don't want to teach that program in the AP, which is the advanced process or something, procedure or whatever. And so he right. But since he white and he the governor, now these black folks is come talking about all the stuff he's done in the past to try to get political points. If the man standing up and making sense, that makes sense to me. Y'all tell me if that's wrong. If I'm wrong, maybe the water, the wet weather. You see, it's February 1st over here in the afternoon. It's raining. Maybe the wet weather done got to my head. But if the man is saying he don't want nobody to use African American study, African history as a base to push a political agenda that's talking about queer theory, intersectionality, and shutting down prison, and that's not right, but he wants the children to learn facts, that ain't racist to me. That's right. I agree with him. I absolutely agree with it. They not supposed to be sitting up hearing crap about queer theory. And that is true. Y'all, if you all been keeping up, then you supposed to already have heard about how Netflix and what's that other group, Disney, and all these people and all these corporations have been pushing subliminal, suggestive, sexual, queer, homosexual program on the children. And then you look up Balenciaga and they got the babies making all these pictures with these. You just got to see this now. Come on now. You can't no longer stay stupid. You got to open your eyes and shake your head off a little bit and try to use your brain to see what in the smoke is going on. If the governor is saying that he don't want anyone to use African history as a platform to shoehorn their agenda of queer theory, that man is right. Whether he white, black, blue, or green, ET, or from some other planet, that's right. And I agree with him. And you all need to hear that. You need to stop being so sensitive just because he's white and he's saying it. And then he say he don't want to teach African American studies. Y'all got to calm down and ask specifically why. And he stood up there and said it. I went back and just typed in Ron DeSantis African history, and it came right up. In the short, he said, this is what he said. I'm not going to allow someone to use black history as a political agenda to slide in queer theory, intersectionality, and shutting down prison. That has nothing to do with African American history. I want the students to learn facts. Now, maybe some of you all haven't learned how to listen to some white people and the way they explain things. Because I'm living here in Israel, we have a cultural difference and a language difference. But after years of being here, I've had to deal with a multitude of people from European countries. They don't explain things the same way we do in America. And our explanation be strange to them, and their explanation be strange to us. You know what I'm saying? But in all the years, I done figured out how to first listen. That is the first thing you got to do. You got to listen and stop being so dad blasted, emotional, and sensitive soon as somebody say something to you. Bam, right after, oh, that white man don't want us to learn African history. You know what? Most of y'all knucklehead wasn't learning no way. As quiet as it kept, you didn't know nothing in the first place. If I say who was Toussaint Louverture, who was King Mansa Musa, what was, who's teaching, what is the fundamental foundation that they're teaching in West Point Military Academy, where you go to learn, military strategy? Where are they getting their information from? What the African war general Hannibal got to do with that? You don't even know. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know. If you don't know that the United Snakes of America, #1 military academy that produced their officers for the military, Army, Air Force, Navy, Marine, if you knuckleheads don't know that they are teaching African war strategy from the great African general Hannibal that marched those African elephants over the Alps to destroy the European, that's what they teaching in West Point Military Academy. And some of Colin Powell's theory and your understanding on war. Black people, them white folks, y'all don't even know that. And so while you running around here getting all, fluffed up, because the governor say he don't want nobody to use African history as a platform to push a political agenda, y'all need to sit down and shut up and think. The man is right. What the smoke is queer theory? When I heard, I'm like, what? First time I heard him say it, I'm like, what? Queer theory? My mind was like, what that got to do with African history? And then I listened to him more, and he said, yeah, they want to teach intersectionality. Now I got to go and figure out what is that? And he said, shutting down prison. And then he turned around and looked at the people. He said, what that got to do with African history? And he's a white dude. He may have learned African history, may not, but on the surface, that make all the sense in the world, because he spotted out somebody trying to run game and using African history to do it. I said that because I love you. I hope you heard the message. Love you 24/7. I mean, all the time. Love you from the basement of my heart to the attic of my mind. Love you 24/7. Love you all the time. But Ron DeSantis was correct. Queer theory? What?